Good morning, friends. It's good to be with you. I'd like to focus today on our Apocrypha reading, which is taken from the Book of Wisdom, chapter 2. And I do really encourage you to go there and have a look at that, and then go to the Gospel reading, which is John chapter 7, and see the interplay between these two chapters, because it is quite striking. One of the quotations from the Apocrypha passage in the Book of Wisdom, chapter 2, is this. It says, "Let us lie in wait for the virtuous man, because he opposes our way of life and he annoys us." And I like that translation. He opposes our way of life and he annoys us. And then you go to the Gospel reading, John chapter 7, and you see precisely this dynamic being played out. Jesus Christ, because he was the truth, because he could not compromise with who he was and what he was about, he annoyed people and they opposed him because they were living in a fantasy, in a delusion. And they didn't like the fact that there was a man who came and he exposed their deceit, he exposed their lies just by being who he was. Friends, the fact is we often like to think that we would love the truth if the truth appeared to us, that the truth would be something which is comforting and which is attractive. But the fact is that the truth is often something which is deeply scary and painful because it exposes the reality of who we are. There's that famous line, isn't there, in that film, A Few Good Men, that I think is spoken by Jack Nicholson. You want the truth, you can't handle the truth. And friends, that is the reality for all of us. We can read these stories and we can fail to put ourselves in the place of those who would not recognize Jesus. We can think of ourselves as the disciples, as the heroes. But in fact, we should see ourselves in that role. It's spiritually healthy to see ourselves in the role of those who would not accept the truth, of those for whom the truth was too scary and should be rejected, of those who would say, "Let us lie in wait for that virtuous man. He opposes us and he annoys us." And so, the spiritual lesson, the spiritual law, which we all must learn, is to open ourselves up to the reality. Not to a reality which we construct for ourselves, which is self-serving, but to the reality about what God says about us. And the fact is, God tells us the truth about ourselves, not because he wants to bring about pain, but because he wants to bring about healing. And so my thought for you today is this, that the truth, when we accept it, when we open ourselves to it, when we say to God, "I want you to show me who I am truly. I want you to show me my sin truly." When we do that, we can find healing. But if we refuse the truth, if we refuse to accept the truth, to listen to the truth, and persist in our sinful and stubborn and arrogant patterns of behaviour, healing cannot happen for us in the same way. So friends, let's open ourselves to the truth that God brings to us, the truth that Jesus Christ brings into our lives. Not in a way which is easy, not in a way which is just blandly comforting, but in a way which is real. For then we can find healing, true healing. Amen.